So in today's episode of Wow What a Bootlicker, we're going to be talking about Byron Donalds. And folks, this story truly is embarrassing. When I read this and was made aware of it, it reminded me of something my grandmother used to say years ago. When she would see somebody just go out there and humiliate themselves, she would always say, "Wow, I'm embarrassed for them." And when I read this story, I truly was embarrassed for Byron Donalds. So we're going to read this article here from the Midas Touch Network. And before we do, I just want to remind you we're headed toward 1 million subscribers. So if you haven't already and you like the kind of content I do, be sure and hit that subscribe button. I truly do appreciate you. It doesn't cost anything to do so, by the way. I've had several people ask, does it cost anything to hit subscribe? No, it doesn't. It'll just keep you up to date on when I post the videos. So we're going to read this article, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you up front, it's every bit as bad as you think it's going to be. When I read the headline, you're going to go, oh, this is going to be bad. Trust me, it's going to be bad, and you're going to end up being embarrassed for Byron Donalds. But here it is, and this one was from J.D. Wolf from Midas Touch. Byron Donalds' Maga rapper friend and his anti-black Instagram post. Forgiato Blow, I guess is how you say it, has been attacking black institutions and culture for weeks. So here we go. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds made a public appearance alongside controversial MAGA rapper Forgiato Blow during a confrontation with protesters at a Tesla dealership earlier this month. The protesters were targeting Elon Musk and the threats of Doge. When Donalds arrived with Blow, that sounded funny. When Donalds arrived with Blow and right-wing influencer Benny Johnson to counter-demonstrate. Johnson, who filmed the event, was one of the individuals duped to work for the covert Russian operation, according to the Associated Press. Blow, a white rapper who was aligned with the Proud Boys, has used his platform in recent weeks to post inflammatory messages targeting the black community on Instagram. Midas Touch has collected these posts and is publishing them here so voters can see who Byron Donalds is affiliating himself with. The posts play on harmful tropes and ignore the historical reality of how the system oppression black people have endured in the United States has shaped black institutions and culture. Blow recently posted that black people say they hate segregation but want all black everything. Now, here's his post, folks. Look at this dude. This is the kind of stuff he's posting. Black people say they hate segregation but want all black everything. In another post, the MAGA rapper shared a picture of himself at a Miami Heat game, and Blow wrote this. Why is it acceptable to have billboards that say 100% black-owned businesses, but if one said 100% white-owned businesses, it would spark protest and controversy? Again, this is the kind of people that Byron Donalds is associating with. In another post, he wrote this. You're white? You're so uncultured? I'm sorry, what language are we speaking right now? Blow also minimized the importance of Juneteenth, the holiday celebrating the freeing of the last remnants of privately held enslaved individuals in the United States. Blow wrote this. Can someone please tell me why in America we celebrate Juneteenth when we already have Black Friday? Just truly insulting. MAGA Republicans have been known to complain about the appearance of black individuals in movies and television shows playing the roles previously played by white actors or characters. Blow's post here is a sad attempt at trying to duplicate that type of nonsense. So when are they going to hire a black queer woman to play Muhammad? In another example, Blow appears to pit the symbolism of the QAnon Pizzagate conspiracy theory against the excitement many experienced decoding the symbolism in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show appearance. And here he posts this. They couldn't see the symbolism, but they see it in Kendrick's halftime show. Blow also claimed that Candace Owens, surprise, surprise, is showing young black girls that they could be strong and black without being ghetto. Look at this post here. This is absolutely disgusting, folks. It truly is. These posts raise questions about the Florida Republicans' judgment and alliances. Blow also has a music video with a dancer wearing a Confederate flag bikini and another music video in which he kills his girlfriend, wraps her in black trash bags, and dumps her in a lake for breaking up with him. I mean, this is real life, folks. Donalds is openly associating with a figure who made anti-black social media posts, the optics of the Tesla protest appearance alongside a rapper with Proud Boy ties and a commentator facing foreign influence allegations, adds scrutiny to Donalds' campaign. And folks, I really just want to say this. When it comes to people like Byron Donalds, I've said this so many times. There are people who truly believes in the MAGA bullshit, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I believe she's the Susan Atkins to Trump's Charles Manson. And then there are the bootlickers and the ones who just want to get in on the grift. I don't think that Byron Donalds is stupid. I don't. I don't think he's stupid. I think he's a smart guy. But I think he's a grifter who wants to get in on this grift. And I don't see how that he could sell people out the way that he does and side with such blatant racism. There's no way in hell that you could spin what we just read in the post that this guy just made without calling it out for the racist post that it truly is. And to anyone out there who tries to say, here you go, just calling this guy a racist, here you go because you disagree with him. No, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm not calling these posts racist because I disagree with this dude. I'm calling it that because it's so blatantly obvious. When I look at that, I see it for the racism that it is. I see it for the white supremacist that it truly is. And I don't see how anyone can slice it any other way. And I especially don't see how a man like Byron Donalds could align himself for that. And the only reason that he could be aligning himself with that is for the money. And that's truly disgusting to me. It's truly disgusting that someone would sell people out just for a buck and go out there and act as though, there's no way in the world that I could sit there. I get offended at people who mocks and makes fun of Appalachian culture. There's things that I take offense at in my part of the world that other people just rolls with and don't have a problem with. But there's things that I absolutely find offensive. Around here we have like a thing called hillbilly golf. It's a putt-putt golf course. And when you go there, you knock the golf ball into like beer cans and into outhouses. And they sell these Billy Bob teeth, and you can buy hats with straw in them and dress up and make fun of our culture. And when I see that stuff, it makes me sick to my stomach. I'm not a fan of that at all. So I can't imagine how that Byron Donalds could look over at this guy who is clearly mocking black people, who is clearly racist. And that's not me saying that because I disagree. It's just clearly that. I don't see how that he can look over at that and not see it for what it is unless he's just another guy wanting to get in on the grift. I can't take him seriously if that's the type of people he's willing to hang out with, and I can't take him seriously if that's the kind of people that he would be willing to make excuses for. The thing about black conservatives that I've never understood is they will never call out blatant racism when it's right in their comment sections. You can go to any of these creators' pages, Officer Tatum, any of them. You can go to their pages, Candace Owens. All you have to do is scroll through the comment section. You will see blatant racism in the comment section, and they'll never call it out. And if you point it out, they will tell you that you're the racist because you saw it. Well, I'm not the racist because I saw that dude's racism. I'm just over here like George Carlin. Remember when he said, I'm just taking notes, I'm a notebook guy? I'm just sitting here, observing what's going on and taking notes. That's what I'm doing. That rapper is clearly being a racist. And Byron Donalds is buddying up with him, and the only reason he could be doing so is because of his love for money and his love to get on the grift. I don't think that he believes it on the level that Marjorie Taylor Greene does, and in some ways that makes it worse. Because if you would be willing to sell out your people for a buck, and you would be willing to let someone insult people like that and never stand up for them, then it shows just what kind of grifter and con man you are. So, yeah, that one's pretty embarrassing to me, that he would be associated with someone like that, and I am embarrassed for him. And I would love to see him come and call this stuff out, but I wouldn't hold my breath because money talks, and he's listening to it. So, folks, I truly do appreciate y'all's support here on the channel, and thank you so much for supporting what it is that I do. We're cruising toward 1 million subscribers. I do believe we'll get there before the end of the year. It doesn't cost anything to hit that subscribe button, so if you want to, go ahead and do that. It'll just keep you up to date on my videos and when they're coming out. If you do ever want to contribute a few bucks, I do have members only here on YouTube. I also have Patreon, which is in the link. The link is in the description of this video. And I'm also writing over on Substack. I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying getting back into writing pieces. It's a little bit different of a flow because when I sit down here, there's no hitting backspace. There's no starting over. I just talk, and I don't have a script in front of me. I don't write these out before I make them. I just sit down and roll with it. And I pretty much do the same thing when I'm typing, although sometimes you will sit and backspace a few times. So, I'm really enjoying, though, getting back to that format because it's just a different way of thinking and a different approach. So for those of you who like to read, I have been making more, long posts over there. So you can join me on Substack. That's also in the description of this video. There was something else I was going to say, and now my mind went blank. But Yeah, the Patreon, the Substack, those are places where you can check out other things I do. Oh, I know what it was going to be. I've also the live streams that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have the audio now uploaded to Spotify. So to anyone out there who wants to listen to those, I have a lot of people reach out and say, Brando, I don't get to catch your shows when you're going live because I'm at work or I'm doing whatever, and I would like to be able to listen to them on my way to work. I've got a long commute, and I can let so I've got them up on Spotify, and we're going to have them up on Apple Podcasts and other podcast platforms soon. But for now, you can check them out on Spotify and listen to the audio version. So I truly appreciate y'all's support. And if I get offended at people mocking Appalachian culture, I don't know why the hell that Byron Donalds isn't offended at that. He should be, and he should be ashamed of himself for selling people out for a buck.